Could a man stop on the road, unpack his bundles, and charge him well nigh what he liked? If a man could not pay, sometimes the tax collector would offer to lend him money at an exorbitant rate of interest, and so to get him further into his clutches. They hated tax collectors. Hated them. Tax collectors were the only Jew that was banned from going to the synagogue. That was banned from entering the temple. Now you can understand how much they hated the tax collector. And so Jesus, on one hand, has everybody in awe. And then immediately he gets up, he walks to the outskirts of town, and who does he talk to? So all these people are thinking that, he's a prophet. Could this be the Messiah? He's talking to a tax collector. They all went, no Messiah of ours would ever talk to a person like that. Yeah. Wow is right. So he went from amazing the crowds to disgusting them all in the same day. Jesus defied the norm, or the accepted standard of the time. And it infuriated the people. It really did. It infuriated the people. But one thing that Jesus shows us through all of this is that anybody, literally anybody, is okay in the eyes of God, as long as they want to change. And I think that's really important for us to hear, because a lot of times even though we don't deal with it a lot, we all have our own prejudices. It's true. We all deal with prejudice all the time. And I know the big one that's talked about a lot is the black-white prejudice. And I've had people in here come up and tell me, I've never worshipped with black people in my life. I've never worshipped with white people in my life. And they come and they see such a mixed group of people, they're like, wow, that's very different. And I know how it is. You've got Church of Christ on Friendly Avenue, and then you've got the Church of Christ out by Malcolm and Danielle, and one's the white Church of Christ, and then the other one's the black Church of Christ. And I know how that is. And we get so stuck in kind of the niche of life. And just say, well, it's easier this way, or it's better this way. It was funny, your brother, Logan. I asked him, he's down in Florida with his father. He's down in Florida with his father, and they're going to the church, essentially, that Rick grew up in. And I asked him, I says, hey, are you going to go to Gainesville and meet the campus ministry down there? He says, I'll do that another time. I said, why? He said, because Ron's coming with us. Ron Cox. I was like, well, what does that mean? He said, he's black. And I want to see everybody's reaction when he comes into church. That cracked me up! But what does that expose? Prejudice. Yeah. It really does. It exposes prejudice. And we can sit here all day long and say, well, you know what, I'm not prejudiced. I just choose not to. You know what, when you start making excuses for what you're choosing and what you're not choosing, there's prejudice that we've got to deal with. And we've got to get rid of it. It's garbage. Well, you know what, it's not just a black-white thing. We are prejudiced even in who we will reach out to. This is one of the things that Jesus is exposing here. He's like, it's okay to reach out to somebody that you deem okay. I'm pushing the limit when I heal a sinner. But now you don't like me when I go talk to a tax collector? We'll be the same way with the people that we reach out to. Yeah. I only reach out to middle-class people because those are the people that I relate with. The homeless, I just don't even know what to say to them. Or the rich elite, they're just, they're too stuffy, they're too snobby for me. I only reach out to somebody with the same level of education I have. Why? Because I don't know how to talk to all those smart people. Or I can't relate with somebody who can't talk on my level. Now these are things that you might not say, but these are things that you think. And that is still prejudice. When there's a point in your life where you draw a line and say, I'm not comfortable over there, so I'm not going over there. What you're just saying is I'm prejudiced. And that is something that we do have to deal with.
Yeah.
Amen.
Jesus, I think, honestly, that's one of the reasons. There's many examples in the Bible that he reached out to anybody. The best, the worst. Didn't matter for Jesus. And I think there's actually a reason for that. Jesus opened himself up to criticism and censure, reaching out to that tax collector. Now, that's a question that I've got to bring to my mind is, am I willing to open myself up to criticism or censure, reaching out to people in my life? And I've lived in many, many different places. And it's funny. One of the criteria we had moving into the place that we moved into is we wanted to live in a mixed neighborhood. We didn't want to live in just one socioeconomic or one color of a neighborhood.
Right.
You know, I wanted all different colors around me. I didn't care. I wanted richer people and poorer people. I don't care. But give me a mixed neighborhood. Why? Because that's who I am. And I've got people coming over to my house all the time, of all different varieties. And the funny thing is my neighbors see that. You know, I had one of my neighbors across the street come over and tell me once, he says, wow, you've got a wide variety of people that come to your house. He's actually on our board with my wife. You know, but he said it in a way that he just wasn't used to. Why? Because he grew up in one of those churches that there's only one type of people in that church. You know, but that's one of the criteria we had. We were like, you know what? It's got to be everybody. I really do want everybody to see everybody come to my house. Because it does make a difference. Am I willing to open myself up to censure? You know, that's one of the areas in my life that I go, absolutely. I don't care what people think. I don't care what people think. You know, there was one time my wife was the creme de la creme in San Francisco. You know, everybody was talking about her like she was goddess divine. You want to know why? She was studying the Bible with a billionaire's wife. Billion. Yes. The big B, that's right. You know, and everybody was, oh, ooh, look at, yes, you know, that's the caliber of person that we need. What does that even mean? Because at the same time, I was in the doghouse. You want to know why? The guy I was studying the Bible with was part of one of the most notorious biker gangs. And he had confessed to me that he had committed 20 plus murders. Everybody's going, why are you studying the Bible with somebody like that? Because Jesus would.
That's right. That's right.
That's exactly right. Who wouldn't you reach out to? We got to get beyond our comfort zone here. We've got to go way beyond our comfort zone. On campus, you know what? A lot of times we get so stuck with students that we forget about the professors.
That's right.
Or the person serving you lunch. Or the person cleaning up. That we get so pigeonholed into one area that, oh, these are the only people that I can reach out to.